You've been part of so many Sai Symphony orchestras over the years. How was it being present for Bhagwan's 88th birthday celebrations and making this offering to him?
Being here with Swami in a non-physical form, it's been wonderful just to be here, because my wife and I had been here already before the rehearsals began for 2 weeks, and I should say tuning into Swami and feeling his presence and feeling his omnipresence, and having had some experiences in the past few years and even recently where we could definitely feel that he is very much with us. And coming here then and hearing from so many devotees and the people that are working here at the ashram, how they feel Swami's presence. And that confirmed what we'd been feeling. Of course, we want to feel Swami's presence. We want to believe that Swami is still there. And perhaps from the West, that concept is a little bit more difficult for us to embrace than, say, for people from India. Maybe we live far away and our life is so different, and we're not surrounded with Veda and bhajan every day. So coming here now, I came wanting to feel Swami's presence. My wife came with that desire, and we came with the desire to move forward. I think all of us who come here, make trips here, we want to grow, and we feel Swami taking us by the hand. And for all of us who come from abroad, Swami says, you take one step towards me, I take 100 towards you. All my brothers and sisters who are gathered in this room, who have come multiple times, or maybe for the first time, although I think everybody here has been here multiple times. We're making that step towards Swami, and I feel that he definitely responded. And for me, one of the things that I felt most grateful for as the orchestra rehearsals unfolded was feeling a oneness with everybody. Swami says that we are all one. And I had a new experience of that, a new level of that, recognizing that there are the forms, but underneath all those forms there's just this one current, this one love that's all there is. And so for me it was a real, I was very grateful that Swami gave me that experience, and I feel he gave me that experience too, to feel the oneness of everyone.
Fantastic. I mean, through this unity of everyone around us, to feel divinity, I think that is what Bhagwan always wanted, to see the God in the other person.
Right.
And if music is aiding us in that endeavor, I think there is nothing more fulfilling than that.
That's right, and because everyone who's playing their instrument is doing it out of love. And music is something that we all come to because we love music. I think maybe also just because our hearts are open, and there's a loving nature to the musicians, and an inclination toward that kind of experience in one's life. And so then when we're all together and playing for Swami, we have that thrill and wanting to feel Swami, and wanting to feel that Swami is there with us. And it is a beautiful experience. And the rehearsals were interesting in that there were some definite challenges in getting everybody to play together, and I think as our conductor mentioned, the students were having to learn a lot. And so the learning curve was quite steep for them. And I was confident, knowing them through my interactions with them over the years, I was confident that they would rise to the occasion, or should we better say, that Swami was there, and Swami had put them there and had full faith in them, and that Swami would take them where they needed to be, which ultimately they reached on the performance. And so I think that what devotees experienced in our concert yesterday, the level of perfection that was there. It was just so beautiful because they got there just in the nick of time. Because you know, Swami was always sort of pushed to the last minute, and these boys had very little time to get prepared, and they had to learn so much. And technical mastery of their instruments, they had to grow so much, and they did it. And so the finished product of the concert, one would not have known that these boys had to learn so much in such short a span of time. And so that was a thrill for me and a joy to see that, and to see that process, and to see how they were so grateful and so happy to be a part of the orchestra and have that experience. And they were telling me about that afterwards. And
so that itself was in some ways Bhagwan's presence.
absolutely, yeah, definitely.
And you were saying that of late you've been having so many occasions when you're feeling his presence very strongly. So maybe if you can share just one anecdote about way back, wherever you are in the US, how you've been feeling him so strongly in your life.
I don't know. There's so many, really, and it's sort of a continuous flow. I can share one thing that happened. I'm here now. Actually, my official reason for being in India is on a Fulbright Nehru research grant, where I'm studying Indian music. And how this came about is there's a visiting professor, an Indian man who teaches in New Haven. And last summer, so in 2012, my wife and sons and I were here for 3 weeks. And I was in the canteen just eating, and he came up to me and he said, "Have you applied for a Fulbright yet?" And this is something he's mentioned to me over the years, and I hadn't done that. And he said, "You should do it." So I didn't really think too much of it. And then about 3 days before the deadline, suddenly the thought popped into my head, August 1st is the deadline for the Fulbright. So I wrote out a grant proposal. I showed it to my wife, and she said, "I don't think so." She says, "Why don't you just do what you really care about, which is listening to sound, and my goal is this constant integrated awareness of truth." You know, Swami talks about constant integrated CIA. Anyway, to make a long story short, I then did a grant proposal on what I was interested in, how the tambura drone is used to help people listen to purity of pitch. And it was accepted, and then as the trip has now unfolded here in Chennai, I didn't really know what was going to be happening. Just one day beforehand, I felt I was put in contact with somebody who opened so many doors for me, actually through the principal of the music college here. And it's just been amazing, the sort of the interactions I've had and the openness that musicians have had to talk to me about their deep personal experiences with music. And I feel the way this has all unfolded, I feel Swami right there with me all the time. And to say where I know it's going, I can't say I know where it's going. Why I'm doing it, I can't say why I'm doing it. But I have full faith that there's a purpose, and that it's going, that Swami's got his hand in here, and I don't need to worry about it. I just have to do my part. But I feel his presence, and just like I said, the people that I've interacted with, and the openness that they've had, and it's just been incredible. My wife comes to interviews with me, and we just get out after them, and you know, we both just look at each other and just say, "Wow, it's just incredible what we just learned and what people shared with us. Deep, deep, deep things." Yeah.
And over these years, you've had chances of so many interactions with Bhagwan. Can you just share one cherished moment with Swami?
I can share the first one. It was in 1985 Christmas time.